Rishikesh just kept calling me here, and I figured, why not? Why not just take the leap of faith and go with it? The food from every place that you go tastes completely different.
You being from America, I have a very personal question for you. So, do you like Trump?
Oh.
It's okay, we won't send you back to America. You can.
I like Trump better than Biden. I'm originally from Southern Illinois, so I grew up with the four seasons and the cold winters and the snow and the hail and the ice. And my plan is to keep going in that direction with holistic healing through Ayurveda and yoga and offering that to others.
And stay in India.
And stay in India.
Did you feel like a celebrity or not? Tell me.
Can I have a picture? Can I have a picture? Can I have a picture?
One selfie, madam.
There was a point where like someone had to grab me and pull me like out of the crowd because I was just surrounded so much by so many people. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. But then on the other beautiful side, I was sitting at the Taj Mahal and just sitting on the side, meditating, just being in my own energy. And all of a sudden I just get a baby on my lap.
A lot of people, they have this misconception also that India is not prepared for tourism.
You have tuk-tuks, you have bikes, you have trains, you have buses, and there's always, yes, I feel like it's so easy. So if you're a foreigner, they're gonna charge you like 10 times more than if you're not, and so you have to bargain with them. But I even like traveling in just local city buses, getting that experience and being really in the culture.
When you travel like a local, you get the real vibe of the place.
You're right next to everyone, which is great, and I love that. But you know, then all of a sudden we'd just stop and everyone's getting off the bus. I'm like, why is everyone getting off the bus? Oh, well, it's lunch break. So we're getting off and eating, and then you get to eat the local food too.
What's one thing which has fascinated you the most about India? Tell me about the dating culture in America.
In India, with my experience, is that there's not as much dating.
What is your opinion on Indian men?
The love that I've seen that Indian men can give is a different type of love.
American men can't?
I'm not saying American men can't. No.
I see this a lot in Westerners that, you know, when they travel for a very long time. Like either they just quit their job and, you know.
Yes, I do know that. I do.
Have you learned Hindi?
Thodi.
Thodi.
Done.
Oh, this is a very common one. Thank you so much, Krystal, for coming. Welcome to our show. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. How are you today?
I'm good. First of all, just tell me about yourself, introduce yourself, and tell our audience how come you're in India.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm Krystal Stevans. I've been living in the United States in Florida, Tampa, Florida, for the past 11 years. And I've been in India this time since 23rd of July last year.
Amazing.
So almost 10 months, a little over 10 months.
Yeah.
I have a day on it. And I first came to India last year into February, or my 300-hour yoga teacher training. And loved it so much, I couldn't get back here quick enough.
Right. So you came straight away to Rishikesh or?
Yes, I came straight away to Rishikesh last year. This year I was in Jaipur first.
Right.
And then eventually found my way here after several cities.
Right. So mainly your main purpose was to do yoga over here.
Yoga and Ayurveda.
Yeah?
Yes.
Pretty good. So now tell me, like, what was the story? Like, what inspired you, like, you know, to come to India? Like, before, like, because I've seen a lot of foreigners, before coming to India, they have a lot of misconceptions, you know, there are a lot of doubts amongst them. We see, you know, people in abroad, a lot of people, they have a lot of negative thoughts about India. Like, you know, it's not going to be safe. It's not going to be good. So, like, what did you think?
I didn't even think about the safety or any of that when I was planning on coming here. You know, I did my 200-hour yoga teacher training in the States, and I wanted to do my 300-hour training somewhere else. And what other better place than to come where the birth of yoga is, into Rishikesh. So I reached out to a couple of my teachers to get their opinions as well. One advice that my 200-hour yoga teacher gave me was to wait at least a year and to teach before you go into your 300-hour teaching. And I thought that was really, really good advice. So I started doing research, and Rishikesh just kept calling me here. And I figured, why not? Why not just take the leap of faith and go with it?
Yeah. And like, how do you feel spiritually after coming over here?
Like a new person.
Yeah?
Yeah, completely different person. I've changed so much more open. I mean, for me, right when you're coming into the city, I can just feel an energetic change.
Yeah.
There's just this calm and peace that comes over me.
Right. So tell me, what all cities have you been to so far?
So my first trip here, I came to Rishikesh, and then I wanted to travel throughout India before I went back to the States. I didn't think I was going to be coming back here so soon, so I put a lot of different areas in a short time frame.
Right.
So after leaving Rishikesh the first time, I went up north. I went to Shimla, Dharamshala, and Amritsar.
Yeah.
And then I got on a plane and went down south and went
Kerala.
flew into Kerala out of
Yeah.
Amritsar and went to Fort Kochi, Alappuzha, and then went over to Munnar, Kudakamalai, Kudakanalai, Kukul,
Yeah.
back to Fort Kochi.
Yeah.
Then I flew back up, went to Agra and Jaipur,
Right.
and then back to the States. I went that time.
Right. So how has your experience been with the diversity of India? Because every state you travel to, it feels like a totally different country.
It is a completely different country. And then down in south in Kerala, you have multiple different languages too. So that was challenging. I was blessed. I stayed at this place called the Rose Inn in Fort Kochi. And the lady Mindu who worked at the reception there, she was just this guardian angel that guided over me and helped me throughout my travels in the south. She spoke all the different languages. So I was solo traveling, so going from each place, getting on different buses and connections and everything, and she was able to help and guide me and translate for me through all that. So I felt really blessed to have her. And then just the food even.
Yeah.
The food from every place that you go
Right.
tastes completely different.
Exactly. The South Indian is totally different. North Indian is totally different. Then on the west, Rajasthani
Yes.
food. And on the east, everything is, pretty diverse. So tell me, like, before coming to India, like, what was your background?
So I've been a radiology technologist for 20 years. So I worked in a hospital, outpatient surgery centers, clinics, and I just kept being called to do something more. All about Eastern holistic healing.
Oh, wow.
More than the Western holistic healing. So yoga and Ayurveda aligns with that a lot.
Right.
My healing journey really began, I'd say, back in 2020 during the pandemic. I got into breath work and dove into that very deeply and was doing breath work 7 days a week for, like 6 months at least.
Yeah.
And then I found yoga.
Right.
And started just practicing. And I was practicing 7 days a week and wanted more and kept getting signs. There was a yoga teacher training. I kept getting signs to go and do that. So I was like, why not? So I signed up for that. And, before finding yoga and the breath, I was thinking, okay, maybe I'll go into nursing from radiology because there was something more I needed to be doing. And I didn't know exactly what that was. And then after doing my 200-hour training, I'm like, this is more in line with me and who I'm becoming now. So I just took a leap of faith and was like, I'm going to dive fully into yoga and concentrate on that and walk away from radiology. And there's definitely a place for Western medicine.
Right.
But I think I'm a true believer that we can heal from within.
Within, yeah. Of course. Because Ayurveda and like Indian, all the concepts, they focus on this only, like healing from inside, right?
Yes.
So, have you watched that movie Eat, Pray, Love?
Yes, I have.
You remind me of the main character of that. So, you planning to go back anytime soon from India?
No plans to go back right now. I get that question from mom a whole lot.
Yeah.
And I miss my family. I miss my niece, my nephew, my sister, my mom, my dad. I miss everyone.
Right.
Yeah.
So tell me, like, what all things they have to say about India, like, because I've heard lot of people have come on my podcast also, and like I've had a lot of friends from all around the world. So they tell me, whenever they're traveling to India, their friends or families are like, man, don't go over there. It's not safe. It's not good for women. It's not good for, like what all things did you hear like before coming over here?
I didn't really listen to much.
Yeah.
And before I came to India, it was maybe 2 weeks before I booked my flight. And
Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty spontaneous.
Yes, I was like, okay, we're doing this. And this is the next yoga course. I'm signing up for it. And I booked it. And I told my mom, and she's like, are you crazy?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. She's like, but she was so supportive and positive too. She she's like, I don't have that much courage to do what you're doing, and I'm really proud of you for taking this leap of faith and traveling your heart and going and doing what you want to do and what's calling for you to be done. So I'm very, very grateful for the support of my family. And she still checks on me all the time. She'll send me clippings of things that's happening in the news. And I'm not a big news person. I don't watch the news.
Okay.
So, yeah, she's like, is it safe over there? How is the food over there? Do you need this for water? You know, first time coming here, I had the water filter. I had, you know, charcoal pills and like different herbs and stuff to bring with me just in case there was any contamination. And I didn't use the water filter once.
Means you were scared. That means you were scared.
Well, people were getting to me a little bit, but no, I didn't even use the water filter once. It's still packaged up. I didn't even bring it back with me this time. So.
And you're living in Rishikesh, so like, you know, near the mountains, near the Ganga, so water is like pretty good over
here.
Yeah. So tell me, now tell me, you know, a lot of people, a lot of Westerners, they come to Rishikesh, and a lot of people, they don't know proper places. Like suppose they want to come and they want to do yoga courses, and I feel it's pretty commercialized. And you know, not everyone is providing authentic courses also over here in Rishikesh. So like, what suggestions do you have, and like, what do you think, which is the best place in Rishikesh, you know, for yoga and, you know, if someone wants to come?
So I was once told there's always a student for every yoga teacher and a yoga teacher for every student. So it depends on what type of yoga you're wanting to learn and what you're wanting to get out of your experience on your journey. Me, I researched yoga schools for over a week, just very intensely, just nonstop looking at different schools and eliminating them down. There's so many schools here. And a lot of the things that I read was to come here and stay here for like a week before you sign up for any schooling. And I completely agree with that now. I really, you know, I'm really grateful for the experience I had in my 300 hour, and I learned a lot, and I had some really, really good teachers that has helped me even further along my journey since graduating over a year ago. And I've learned about other amazing schools and teachers too from being here. So my advice would be to come here if you can, a week before you're planning on starting any schooling. So most schools start at the first of the month. So come here last week of the month and do drop-in classes. Reach out to people in the community. There's a lot of different groups in WhatsApp that you can join, and people are more than willing to help you. So go around, look at the different areas and listen to your heart, what's calling you and what's speaking to you, and, you know, interviewing your teachers and seeing who you think can give you good guidance.
So actually I want to ask, like, don't you think it's very commercialized, like it's over commercialized, and you know, like the ashrams over here pretty expensive, like if someone wants to come, you know?
I don't have experience with all the ashrams per se. I don't know how loosely we're using that word. You know, I did a course at the Art of Living, a weekend course there, and they were full that weekend, so I wasn't able to stay there. But most of the ashrams, like in Rishikesh and not in Upper Tapavan, are definitely more reasonably priced. But yeah, the schoolings here, they are over commercialized. And I've done a couple drop-in classes while I'm staying here because my course that I'm in right now is just in the morning for a couple hours. So I have my afternoons and evenings so I can go to other schools and experience other teachers. And there's been some I'm like, I'm glad I just came here to experience that. And you always learn something from no matter where you go. But yeah, it can be over commercialized, so that's why I really recommend doing some drop-ins and reaching out to people
to just figure out and just, you know, talk to people, and then, you know. Yeah, that's pretty good. So you being from America, I have a very personal question for you. So do you like Trump?
I don't do politics. I really don't. No, I do not do politics. I don't even own a TV. I got rid of my TV a couple years ago back in the States. Yeah, I was moving and my mom's like, what about the TV? I go, I don't watch it. So I gave it to my movers and I haven't owned a TV since. And I really just, I stay out of politics. I do.
So you don't have any political opinion?
Oh.
It's okay, we won't send you back to America. You can.
I'm not up on all the latest politics. I do think that, in my opinion, I like Trump better than Biden.
Better than Biden?
Yes. I'm very glad that he's not in office anymore.
Really? So,
Yes.
like, reason?
I didn't agree with his views and what he was doing. Yes.
Yeah, okay, that's good. That's good.
Yes.
So, tell me, like, what all countries have you visited before India?
Oh, before India, I've been to Tahiti, Bora Bora, Jamaica, Mexico, Austria, Switzerland, Liechtenstein, France, Germany, Thailand. I went
Okay.
to Thailand this year.
Okay.
So it
How
wasn't
was it?
before India, it was after India.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
did you like it? How was it? Like,
Yes, I love
Yeah?
Thailand. Yeah, I was there for 5 days.
the beaches and all
Yes.
vibe?
Yeah, I went to Phuket.
Yeah, Phuket. Yeah.
Yes,
Because
it
you-
was nice because I'm used to the beaches back home and I was really
Yeah.
missing the beach
Right.
and the warmer weather and everything. And it was cooler here. It was in November, so
Right.
I haven't had a winter in over 11 years.
Okay.
I'm originally from Southern Illinois, so I grew up with the four seasons and the cold winters and the snow and the hail and the ice. And this was my first winter in over 11 years was
Oh.
being here. So I was like, I need to go to Thailand. I need a little bit more tropical weather.
Yeah. A lot of foreigners, they go to Thailand as well. Like, it's like mainly, I think it's got a party vibe as well. Like, if you're a very party person, you know, that for that also, it's pretty good, I feel.
I don't know. I'm not a partier.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I don't do any
Totally
partying. I like to wake up at 5:30 in the morning, and I
Yeah.
like to be in my bed no later than 9:30 at night, and
Okay.
I really enjoy my mornings.
Oh, wow. Even I do enjoy my mornings. Like, I sleep at 5 a.m. So, I mean,
Yeah. Oh, you go to sleep at 5 a.m. Well, that's a lot different.
just kidding. Yeah, a lot of times, you know.
Yes.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
it happens with me.
I mean, I just naturally, I don't set an alarm. I naturally wake up at 5 a.m.
Okay. So, like, what are your plans? Like, after this, what are you planning, you know, after Rishikesh?
I don't have any set plans right now. Like I said, I'm an Ayurveda practitioner and a yoga teacher. And I'm also I used to own my own cold pressed juice company back in the United States. And I've been really focused on nutrition since 2018.
Yeah.
And I really believe that a lot of our disease and ailments we hold inside can be healed just with our nutrition. And it all starts in our gut. You know, our gut is our second brain. You know, you always hear that saying, you are what you eat and you are what that eats.
Yeah.
So I'm vegetarian now. I don't eat any animal products or anything. I was pescatarian before I came here, so I haven't had any animal products in years and years. But for me, that's what really drew me to Ayurveda too, was like healing from within. And I feel that yoga and Ayurveda can't be one without the other.
Okay.
Because you have your internal gut and organs and this human body that we're embodying right now to live in, but then also then the yoga for the spiritual and for our soul.
Yeah.
So my plan is to keep going in that direction with holistic healing through Ayurveda and yoga and offering that to others.
Right.
Yeah.
And stay in India.
And stay in India, yes, and stay in India. I don't know where in India yet.
Yeah.
Right now it's Rishikesh, we'll see.
So you're looking forward to another city? You're looking to settle in another city in India?
I think I'll eventually settle in
for
another
change.
city. Yeah. Yes. Rishikesh is beautiful and I love it here. And it feels like, I mean, anywhere in India for me feels like home. And home is wherever you are and wherever you make it, really.
True.
And I feel that my time here in Rishikesh will be up soon.
Okay.
A couple months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, have you been to cities like Varanasi or Vrindavan?
No, I have not gotten
Yeah.
the pleasure to go there yet. And I have a list on my phone
Okay.
of cities that I still want to see. So I want to go to Dharamkot as well. I've heard beautiful things about that place.
You should try to go to Varanasi because, like, you know, the experience over there is surreal. Like, you know, you experience, you feel the cycle of life and death. You can experience everything over there. Like, you know, the personal experience is different for each and every one. So it's also quite like good. And like, if you're seeking, like, because I can see you, like, you have been seeking spirituality as well. You've been moving towards that path. So I would highly recommend you to go to Varanasi.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll have to get some recommendations from you then.
Definitely. And tell me about your experience with Indian people. Like, how do you find them? And like when you came over here, did you first of all did you feel like a celebrity or not? Tell me that.
Not in Rishikesh, but when I left here, yes,
Yeah.
yes, I did. It was, can I have a picture? Can I have a
Yeah.
picture? Can I have a picture?
One selfie, madam.
Yeah, I really felt it strongly, and when I went to the Taj Mahal.
Okay. Oh, there you
Really
felt.
strong. Yes, yes. I went to the Red Fort there too the day before the Taj Mahal, and there was a point where like someone had to grab me and pull me like out of the crowd because I was just surrounded so much by so many
Really?
people. Yeah,
Oh my God.
yeah. But then on the other beautiful side, I was sitting at the Taj Mahal and just sitting on the side meditating, just being in my own energy, and all of a sudden I just get a baby on my lap, and I'm like, this mom's sitting next to me, and the baby's here, and I'm like, this is beautiful, this is great. And no, the people here, there's so much love,
Yeah.
so much love from everyone. No one's a stranger.
Yeah.
No one. Everyone's someone's brother, someone's sister, and
Yeah.
they're your brother, your sister if you need them, and
Right.
you always can count on someone.
Yeah. I've heard this from a lot of travelers who have been traveling over here. Like their experience has been like, people, they're extremely helpful, especially to foreigners, because,
Yeah.
that's the thing. About the transport as well, like how's the transportation did you like? Because a lot of people, they have this misconception also that India is not prepared for tourism, or the transport system isn't that good. But like it's totally the opposite, I feel. It's pretty
There's
good, it's pretty cheap, and like pretty accessible, I feel.
very accessible. You
Yeah.
have tuk-tuks, you have bikes,
Yeah.
you have trains, you have buses, and there's always, yes, I feel like it's so easy. Now, definitely negotiate, depending on where you're at.
Yeah.
I lived in Hardwar for a while, and there was set prices. You didn't have to do negotiating with your tuk-tuk drivers.
Yeah.
Here, definitely negotiate, because if you're a foreigner, they're going to charge you like 10
10
times more
times,
than if
yeah.
you're not, and so you have to bargain with them. But it's easy. You can get a ride anywhere whenever you want. It's so simple. When I went down south, I flew down south, but then I took a private taxi to my first destination going to Munnar because it was just the easiest to get there and the quickest way to get there because I was on a time crunch. So I took a private taxi to Munnar. But then from Munnar to my next destination, Kulkamalai,
Okay.
and I took a tuk-tuk there.
Oh.
And it was the most beautiful drive ever. In the hotel where I was staying at, it's like, here, you can take the tuk-tuk for the day. And I told him where I wanted to go. And so he drove me there, and we got there. He's like, where are you staying? And I was like, I don't know where I'm staying yet.
Yeah.
He's like, well, let me call my brother. He actually lives here.
Okay.
And he runs a camp there. So I ended up camping there.
Oh,
And
wow.
yeah, everything just kind of connected and lined up. But the transportation is so easy. And it can be a little confusing when you get to the bus stand.
Yeah.
If you're just going to a local bus stand. But, you have your overnight buses, your sleeper buses,
Right.
which are nicer. They have the AC, they have the water and that. But I even like traveling in just local city buses.
Yeah.
Getting that experience and being really in the culture.
Exactly. I mean, that's pretty good. Like when you go to a city and then when you adapt the culture, it feels even it feels just beautiful. I feel that's even better, because when you travel like a local, that's when you experience most of the things. Like you experience the place, you get the real vibe of the place.
You
So,
do, definitely.
yeah.
Like down south, I was just doing local buses. I wasn't doing sleepers or anything, so I was just going from small city to small city. And I love the vibe and getting to know people more. And I mean, people would just talk to you on the bus, and
Yeah.
you're right next to everyone, which is great. And I love that. But, then all of a sudden we'd just stop and everyone's getting off the bus. I'm like, why is everyone getting off the bus? Oh, well, it's lunch break. So we're getting off and eating. And then you get to
Yeah.
eat the local food too.
Right.
Yeah.
What's one thing which has fascinated you the most about India?
That's such a tough question.
Think.
Fascinated me the most. Everyone's so present.
Yeah.
Yes, everything's really fast paced sometimes,
Mhm.
but it can be really slow too. And everyone's present. Everyone's always willing to help you, no matter what. Help each other, And it's not just me about being a foreigner. Like I'll sit and observe the culture and observe other people and how they're interacting, and just the willingness to help others.
Right.
Yeah.
Amazing. Amazing. Now, like, we'll come, like, we know you are from America, and we're going to talk a bit about your culture as well.
Okay.
How life was over there for you as well. Was it very fast paced, or like, just tell us?
Yeah, originally it was really fast paced.
Mm-hmm.
My motto now is work to live,
Okay.
not live to work.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel that in the US, a lot of people are living to work.
Right.
And, you're working 40 to 60 hours
Mm-hmm.
a week. And you're not at home as much with your family. You're
Mm-hmm.
waking up in the morning and you're going straight to work, then you're coming home from work, and then you're making dinner, and you don't get that much interaction with your family. The kids are in school longer too, which I've noticed. Like the
Right.
kids, they go earlier in the morning. What time does school start here?
8 a.m., 7:30, 8.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you're home earlier in the afternoons. I feel that.
Yeah, around 2:30 p.m.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just feel that it's different. The schooling here is different. You're at home more with your kids.
Yeah.
It's definitely more family oriented here.
Mm-hmm.
So there's more of that vibe, and that's different. But yeah, it's more fast paced. It's going, going, and going, and doing.
Right. But what if we move from New York to Vegas?
Yeah, I mean, New York is really, really, really
Yeah.
fast paced. Luckily, in Tampa, Florida, it's a little bit slower paced, but still fast paced. It's always like, okay, what am I doing next? Going, 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 and doing. And I've really, over the past 5 years of my life, has really slowed down
Mm-hmm.
and not saying yes to everything, not doing everything that people ask you to do, and just pausing and taking time for myself.
Right. Because I do have a lot of friends who have been living in New York, New Jersey. So they tell me, like, it's pretty busy in there. Of course, like, they're if they're international students or they're living abroad, so of course for them it will be. But yeah, like in India, when you come, you go to mountains and all, you can have peace. I feel, your mind can be at ease. But like, suppose when you're in big cities and then you have your whole life over there, I feel it's pretty fast paced, and you have to keep up with what all you've been doing professionally. It's a totally different
Completely different,
life.
and I was blessed to not be, I mean, Tampa's a big city, but
Yeah.
not compared to New York.
Yeah.
It's not, all these high-rise buildings and everything. You still have nature. I still had the beaches. I had Bayshore Boulevard that I could go and walk and run on and be out in nature. I would do a donation-based yoga class every Sunday at one of our local beaches. That was my favorite place to go. And so I was at the beach at least once a week, every single week, the past couple years. And I think it's real important for us to reconnect with nature and to Mother Earth.
So you miss home?
I miss certain things about home.
Yeah.
Yeah, I miss my family, and I
Right.
miss certain things about home. But
Right.
no.
So tell me about the dating culture in America. How is it over there?
Different than here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very different than here.
Very different than here. Yes. I feel that in India, with my experiences, that there's not as much dating. Maybe that's just been the people I've been around, but there's not as much dating as there is in the United States. It's more family oriented here,
Yeah.
more friends and family focused, not, yes, at a certain age here, you're supposed to be finding your mate and getting married at a younger age, which is different than in the United States. People are getting married when they're older, when they're younger. There's not like a
Yeah.
specific age frame
Right.
that they go after.
Because I've seen this also in a lot of Western countries. I was also in Australia for 5 years, so I see this a lot, that people, they have their partners, they have their whole family, over there, but they're not married. Like it's very common in abroad. Like I've seen this, and over here it can't be like that at all. Like you have to be
Yes.
married first, and then only you can have a family. So I feel, like there's a lot of difference in terms of when it comes to dating and relationships. Do you feel that?
Yes, I do feel that difference for sure. I think it shifted, more people, marriage was more of a focus in the States for a while. And then I feel that in the past, like 5-10 years, a lot of people have just changed their beliefs.
Yeah.
And
A lot of
think maybe
open
that
marriages and all. These
yeah,
concepts
more
have been
open
coming.
marriages and stuff, but also then, people getting divorced and then being like, well, do I need to get married to show this person that I truly love them? Some people think like, okay, well, it's a piece of paper. Yes, for me, it's something different and something more. But a lot of people is like, okay, well, do we really need to go and sign a piece of paper to show us each other's love? And yeah, a lot of people are having kids before they're getting married and then just stay in that partnership. Part of it, I think, is being comfortable as well.
Right.
And I think that for each person, it's really what works for them. And I'm not one to judge someone else's relationship. Like, if you say you have a partner and you guys don't want to get married and that works for you, then that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Like, let that work for you. Who am
Yeah.
I to say that you need to go and get married just because that's someone else's belief?
be
If it's
happy.
working
Yeah.
for you and that what makes you happy and you guys know that that's the true commitment and that you guys are each other's life partners, then let that be.
There are a lot of concepts, a lot of traditional beliefs in India. Like, did you come across them? Any of the traditional belief or anything like that which you didn't like? Have you been to the widows ashram over here?
The which ashram?
Widows ashram.
Widows ashram. I don't think so.
Because someone like told me that there's a widows ashram, and over there are all these widows, like widow women, and like they're not allowed to marry again, and there's a
I've heard of that. Yeah, no, I haven't had the chance of going there yet.
Yeah, there's a ashram over here.
Yeah,
I've heard
so
from a lot of people.
speaking of the widows thing, yes, that would be the one thing that I don't agree with.
Yeah.
That doesn't align with me and my beliefs. I feel that if your life partner passes away, why can you not find joy and love again? I think that loving connection is super important for our souls. And yes, loving yourself first, that's where love starts, is in here with ourselves.
Right.
And yes, you find that love, but if you can find love again, why not be able to find love again?
And now tell me, what is your opinion on Indian men?
Indian men. There's so many different types of Indian men.
Yeah.
I feel that the love that, there's different types, but the love that I've seen that Indian men can give is a different type of love.
Yeah. American men can't.
I'm not saying American men can't. No. I'm not saying that American men cannot give love. That is not what I said. I just feel that it's a stronger love that isn't offered in other places in the world.
Why do you think so?
I was just thinking about that before you even asked me that. Why do I think so? I think the upbringing is different too, depends on your parents and how you've been brought up and the love and the connection that they've had. And I think it also has to do with, in the culture here, you're living in your family your whole life until you're getting married.
Yeah.
And so having that love and that bond there and seeing it when you're in your college years, when you're transitioning and going through different emotions, and seeing that love and bond through your parents and seeing how you should love a woman. Right.
I think because also we are very culturally rooted, and that's like one of the reasons why, like, we are very, I guess that's the reason why we are very emotional, and I feel that's the thing.
Yes, you guys do express your emotions well, in a good way.
Yeah. Perfect. So Krystal, you have been living here since past 10 months. So like your family doesn't say anything? Your friends, your family?
They don't say as much anymore.
Okay.
At first it was like, when are you coming back? You're here for Ayurveda and for yoga, and when are you coming back to the States? And I prayed on that a lot and meditated on that a lot. Like, what should I be doing after my Ayurveda school? Like, what should I be doing? What am I being called to do? And I got answered directly the next day. A hurricane came through my home and had 3 feet of water at my house. And so I was like, that's just definitely a sign. And I listened to all the signs. So that was a sign for me to stay here longer. But my family's been really supportive, very, very supportive. And I feel blessed with that, because I feel that a lot of people have this inner calling to doing something more, something else with their life, but they're stuck in that routine and the expectations of people that surround them, whether that be their family, their friends, their coworkers, or just the society that they're living in. And that you need to really truly listen to your heart and what's calling you, and just to take that risk. Like,
Right.
what's the worst thing that can happen? And for me, it was just, I just kept being called to do something more. And I'm grateful for the life that I had and for all the experiences that I had, because I wouldn't be the woman I am without those. And I'm grateful for my anatomy background and my radiology background and all of that knowledge, because it helps me and has helped me become a yoga teacher, a better yoga teacher, because I do all that, know the anatomical parts and
From
the
the
muscles
science
and
background.
the sciences behind it. Yes. And to walk away from that wasn't easy. You know, I was doing that for 20 years.
Wow.
But it was time to get uncomfortable. And to me, this is really living. And I'm following my heart and what my soul's calling me to do, not what other people are expecting me to do.
True.
And I've been blessed with great friends and community and love and support. They're like, okay, where are you going to next? Like, how are you? Like, what's going on? Like, I'm so proud of you for listening to you and honoring yourself and going on this journey and living the life that I'm choosing to live.
Wow. Amazing. Because, you know, your life, like your journey, it's definitely, it's very inspiring. Like, for people who actually look forward to do such things, who actually want to listen to their heart, but because of some reasons, you know, they can't really take a step. So it's very important, you know, to listen to your heart. And, you know, it, like, at the end of the day, I feel that if you're listening to your heart, you'll be at the right place. Right. And, you know, in India, like, I see this a lot in Westerners, that, you know, when they travel for a very long time. Like, either they just quit their job and, you know.
Yes, I do know that. I do.
Yeah. So I see this like quite a lot, but I don't see this quite often in Indians. They can't really do this. I mean, because I think that's also one of the reasons which I told you earlier, that, you know, they're very family oriented, or, you know, culturally very rooted. So that's why, you know, some things they hold them back. I mean, nowadays, I think the coming generation, it's getting more and more open. But, like, still, I mean, there's some sort of barrier they have. You know, they can't really take a step and, you know, can't really listen to their heart.
I think it comes down to a cultural thing for sure, and expectations. I was just having a conversation with two of my girlfriends yesterday about this, who are Indian, and, you know, she was saying, well, I need to do this. And I was like, but what do you want to do? Well, my parents want me to do this. It's like, but what do you want?
Really?
And then listening to that and going with that. And that's where it is a culture difference, because my experience here is that if your parents tell you something, that's what you do. You don't go against their wishes.
Right.
And in the West, you listen to your parents to a certain extent. We'll say that.
Then they leave you. Just go and live your life.
Well, they don't leave you, but no, that's where it is different too. You know, I've been living on my own since I was 17 years old.
Oh, wow.
So I've lived by myself a long time, but that's usually like 17, 18 is when you're going to college. And so that's when you do move out of the house. You're typically not staying at home after that age. So it is it's a huge culture difference on being able to follow those dreams as well.
Wow. So,
and to have that courage and the strength, and to, you know, it's more culturally accepted.
Right. Exactly. That's the thing. It's more culturally accepted. But over here in India, 17 years of age, you're living in your own house? Not possible. Like, right now also, I live with my parents.
Which I think is a great thing.
Yeah, it's
you know how much money I could have saved?
Yeah, exactly. That's one thing. So have you learned Hindi?
Todi.
Thodi thodi. Okay. So have you learned any bad words as well?
One.
What is it?
Bench.
Oh, this is very common one. But nice. And what else? Like, anything else?
No, that's the only bad one I know.
इतनी बड़ी हो गई, हिंदी नहीं आती अभी तक इसको. I think that was fun.
Speaking of the language, you know, swagatam means welcome, but in the US you say like, thank you, you're welcome. So when I was learning the Hindi language, I thought welcome swagatam was like, you're welcome,
Yeah.
which I didn't find out. And so people would say, like, Dhanyavad, and I'd be like, swagatam.
Two meanings
And
of the same
no,
word.
but it doesn't mean that. It means like, welcome into my
Yeah.
home, not like you're welcome. But, and people would just look at me. And I'm like, why are you looking at me? Like, finally someone said something to me. And I was
Right.
like, oh, okay. So I just say Dhanyavad back. I get it. I understand now.
Yeah. It's a bit technical. You'll have to give more time to Hindi, I guess.
Yes. Yes. Well, I'm learning Sanskrit right now for yoga. So
That's
one
good.
language at a time.
Yeah. So, like, before ending the podcast, I would also want to ask you, what is your go-to place in Rishikesh?
Well, I really love the ambiance here at Avia.
Okay.
Yes. It's
And-
really nice and peaceful. You have this beautiful view of the mountains. The food is super clean and healthy and light.
Yeah.
Still with the Indian culture and flair to it. They offer pottery classes here, yoga, massage.
Right.
It's kind of, you're still in Upper Tapavan, but you're a little bit out of it.
Okay, so Krystal, again, thank you so much for being over here. Like, I had a really nice time chatting with you and meant a lot. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And thank you guys for watching. And with this, we'll end the podcast. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much.